Hey guys, all right, so today we're going to do a fun job. I'm kind of kidding, but today we're going to be showing you how to install the valve assembly on the Hoover Floormate. This is the Floormate Deluxe model, so this will work on the models, basically all the models that have the two tanks that go side by side in the photo there. So if your machine is leaking, or if it's not letting water out, then this video will apply to you. So I'm going to walk you through how to open the machine up and how to remove your old tubing reservoir and replace it and fix that problem. So the first thing that you're going to do obviously is take your tanks off the machine, and you can also take off your squeegee, which I just popped off like that, and then you can take your brushes off as well. Just hit these buttons here and you can pull these brushes straight off the bottom. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to remove some screws in the bottom here. Now there's some screws actually underneath here that we need to get access to, and so there's actually a clip right here. It actually comes off, and this one here, it comes off real easy, but there's a clip right here and it grabs right inside of here. So that's what you're looking for here. You're going to release that clip. If you need to, you can stick your screwdriver right here and release that clip, and this pivots out and then it lifts out of this side, so it kind of comes out like that. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove 6 Phillips head screws out of the bottom here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to take those out real quick. Okay, and then you can go ahead and flip the machine over, and then you can lift this hood out of place here, and then just see if you can track down you should have 6 screws. Track those down. All right, next what we're going to do is I'm going to flip it around here. I'm used to working on it in this direction, and I'm going to lay it on its side, and this is going to expose all of the screws on the side here that we need to remove. I'm going to go ahead and just take this cord off, just so I can see, because there's a screw that the cord covers. So all right, so we're going to work from the bottom up. So we have 2 screws here and here, and we're going to take those out. Then we have 2 here, and they're all the same screws, so you don't have to worry. All right, moving on here. Now we've got these 2. There's 3. There's 5 here. So we're taking. And then we have 3 more right here. These 3. All right. So now we are going to just go ahead and separate this. This will come apart. I'm going to try to turn this thing somewhat on its side so that the screws fall out. Now, so now that you've got it separated, I'm just going to move this piece out of the way. Now you can disconnect these wires if you want to and pull the wires through, and that'll give you a little bit more room to work, but sort of an unnecessary step, but you can do it if you want to. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to lift this hose here up out of the way. Okay, and then it shows us where this reservoir tubing is. It's a valve basically, so when you pull the trigger, this thing pulls up like that, and you can see it moving up and opening. We're going to go ahead and take out 3 screws here, and it's going to be this one here, and then we have 2 right inside of here, this one and this one. Now the valve's going to come out. Okay, and then here on the front of the nozzle here, you can follow this clear tube, and you can see it just pushes right into this little intake nipple there. And then from there we can disconnect this little wire here. This goes up to the trigger, and then we can just pull it through. Okay, so then get your new tubing, and we're going to slide it through the opening there. All right, so just slide it through that opening right there. Now the first thing that I like to do is I like to install this this piece first. It's sort of hard once you install this part. It's really pretty hard to, because you have to kind of bend this, and it's kind of hard to line the screws up. So I like to do it in this order. It makes it a little easier. So the new one does include a new gasket, little rubber gasket piece. So I'm going to install that first. And there's a lip on the inside. So this goes on the inside of the plastic, just like that. So you should see just a little bit of rubber sticking out on on the inside part. Okay, so it should be in there securely. Then what you're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and connect this little wire connector. You're going to line up the holes, and you kind of have to hold it to get it aligned and screw it in with your other hand. So it's a little bit of a tricky install here. This might be the part that you have to fight with a little bit, but all right, so now that we've got the valve in place and secured, there is a channel right here. This is going to be sliding right into this little cavity. Okay, so that's what you're aiming for, and then of course you're going to see the screw hole is going to line up with this screw post. That's what you're looking for. But you want to make sure that you get this wire underneath it. Okay, like that. So that's where you have to kind of work this piece, you know, to give yourself some slack so that this can fold down in place just like that. So you can see it's in line with the screw post. I've got my connector, I've got my little, the trigger connection, linkage connected. And then I've got it in line with this channel, and I've got the wire going underneath like that. Okay, so we can go ahead and put our screw in place, and that'll secure everything. All right, so next what we're gonna do is we have to reinstall our clear hose. So what you're gonna wanna do is get this upper section kind of back into this area right here, this part of the nozzle. So that's what you're looking for. Get it into there, and then that would allow you to be able to get this clear hose back in place. Okay, so, and you have a couple locators here. You have this hole and you have this hole, and they go over these screw posts. You actually have I think one more locator. You have this little rectangle that's going to go right down inside of here. So that's kind of what you're looking for to get it in the proper place. All right, so we got it in the right place, and then now we're just going to close this this case assembly, and you're just going to kind of slowly guide it back into place here, and just look for any major like gaps. So you want to just check to see if your assembly is going to clip back together. So I just felt it really fall into place, and right now it's without any screws. I don't see any major gaps in the seam, okay, all the way around. So just look for that. You're looking for, if you have any major gaps, then you have something misaligned, and you need to go back and possibly take it back apart and realign things, okay? So we're going to go ahead and put all those screws back in. Now, at this point, you should be left with 6 screws. So if you did everything correctly, you should be left with 6 screws. All right, so Now, this is what you should have here. You should have a fully intact upper assembly with a new valve in here and then no hood on top. So what we're going to do is we're going to tuck this little rubber piece. It's kind of like a piece of foam just to keep the wires sort of protected from too much movement, wearing the wires out. So we're going to tuck those wire nuts and stuff back in this little cavity right here. And then we're going to take our tube here and pull any slack out. Don't pull too hard. Pull any slack out, and then we're going to install it right back onto that little nipple here. All right, that is a technical term, by the way. Okay, so now that we get that on, we're going to go ahead and get our hood on. What you're looking for here is just look at these little round spots that they're going to go right over top of this pivot joint here. Tuck those wires in. I like to hold it together, you know, like this while I'm lowering this down in. And then I like to squeeze these two pieces as I'm flipping it over, and I don't let go until I've got at least a couple screws in. Okay, the easiest one is going to be this one.
Okay, and then one more here. It's holding together pretty good. Okay, so now I've got two in, and let go, and I can put the rest in. Last two right here.
Okay, and then we're going to put our front wheels back in. So this goes in right like that, and then when it's just kind of in a 90-degree angle, it inserts there, and then it folds down and just pops in place on that little clip. I'm going to test it without those bristles on. So you should have a good pivot. It should lock. All of that should be working. So let's go ahead and put our water tank in, and we'll test it out. And it's not leaving a puddle anymore, so it looks like we fixed it. Now let's go ahead and pull the trigger. All right, it's letting water out, so we fixed it. All right, so I hope this was a helpful video for you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you would like to say thank you in the form of a tip, I'll leave my Venmo in the description, or you can hit the super thanks button. Thanks. Have a great day.